This week we're focusing on the projects of pets and animal science. So I would like to introduce you to my pet. This is Wheeler. He's about 5 years old right now, and he's a mix between a black lab and a golden retriever. He was actually the only yellow puppy in his litter, so that's what made him unique, and that's what made me want to get him. But that's not the only thing that makes him special. Wheels, come here. Show him what makes you special. Come here. Wheelie, come here. Come here. Wheels. Wheeler only has 3 legs. About 3 or 4 years ago, we were leaving the yard, and Wheeler loves to hunt, and he was on a bird hunt. So he was only focusing on the bird, and we didn't even see him until the last minute as we were turning on our driveway, and we ran him over. Right away, we loaded him up in our car to take up to my aunt's vet clinic that's in the cities. When we got there, she did an x-ray of him, and he was actually pretty lucky. He didn't have any broken bones or any internal damage. The only thing that was wrong with him is his leg popped out of the hip socket. So it was like a ball and a socket, and then that goes in, and his popped out. My aunt put it back into place and hoped that it would stay there and he could return back to normal in a few days. After that, so then we took him back up to the vet to see if it did stay in. It didn't, so we were left with 2 options as a family. 1, to remove the leg completely, so he would only have 3 legs. And 2, to take the ball of the socket and just remove that and infuse it back into the socket. But with that, he wouldn't be able to move as much. He'd get arthritis sooner, and since he was a young, active dog that loved to run around on the farm, we wanted to make sure that he could still do that. So we went with removing the leg. And now, he's back to normal and can still run and play outside and chase the animals like he likes to. We also want to go outside. He's off on the hunt.
So Lexi, tell us how you can turn this into a 4-H project.
So there's 2 different ways that I could turn this into a 4-H project. I could go down the path of the vet science. I would do more research about the different surgeries and how it affects different dogs. So like a small breed dog compared to a large breed dog. Or if the dog is young and active, or if he's old and not as active. Or I could do it as a pet project. And more of the process is how we've got Wheeler back to normal. So that was taking him outside, getting him used to walking with only having 3 legs, and getting him used to running and the balance and the different things that he had to do and what I had to do with my dog.
So if you had a dog that didn't have 3 legs, would you still be able to do a project on them?
Of course. There's something unique about every dog. Maybe not every dog has 3 legs, or as the physical problems that Wheeler has, but there might be a disease that your dog had at some point that you could do more research about and study more about it. Or there's maybe a new trick that you want to teach your dog, so then talk about how you and your dog had to do that and the difficulties that you had along the way.
So 4-Hers, this is a perfect time to be able to turn that pet of yours into a project. Maybe it's one that you don't have a pet and you would like to have a pet. You can still do the pet project. This is perfect to be able to do a little research. What kind of pet would you get? How do you take care of that pet? What do you feed it? Is it really logical that you have a pet in the place that maybe you live? So, perfect time. Start learning, start exploring. This is great to look and find your passions of what projects you're interested in.